Okay, thank you very much. Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. Let's see. All right, we're back tonight to studying Master YongHua's instructions during the Chan Qi. It's a real pleasure to be able to do it with you. I really enjoy his instructions. Kind of wonderful to learn about how his mind works. All right, go on, please.
不是一天到晚净有一种攀缘心，打妄想，顺着自己这个欲念去跑去，那是不行。
Do not constantly have the mindset of climbing on conditions. Do not forsake. Do not run after your own desires. That is not going to work.
那么，在这个坐禅的期间，以后每一天讲这个开示，是在6点半开始，6点半。现在8点半，在这个。
Then, during the period of Chan meditation, the daily instructional talk will be from 6:30 to 8:30. That's 2 hours.
坐禅一定有3个功能，都要长远，画长远，不是说我做了3个礼拜了，这就我怎么还没开悟？
This Chan meditation is for the long haul. For the long haul, you can't say that I have already sat 3 weeks. How come I'm not enlightened yet?
人家古来的人修行几十年，也没有生出一种我怎么还没有开悟？你没有开悟，你。
The Asians cultivated several decades, yet they still didn't bring forth the thought of, how come I haven't enlightened?
自己不用功嘛，你自己用功用不好嘛。你用不好功，你就是做多久的时间，你也不会开悟。
You're not enlightened is because you don't apply effort yourself. If you can't apply effort well, no matter how long you sit, you still won't become enlightened.
你坐在那地方就把头低下来，这样的去，那怎么会开悟呢？
Once you sit there, you lowered your head like that. How can you become enlightened?
根本一点的这种的金刚的样子都没有，很金刚。什么叫通啊？什么叫苦啊？什么叫疲倦呢？我要把一切都胜利。
You absolutely don't have the appearance of a Vajra. Vajra, what is pain? What is suffering? What is tired? I must conquer everything.
我这几天呢，看见那果修修的还不错。这是前几个礼拜 我看他很用功的。
Cultivation. These days, I saw Guoxiu cultivated well. These past few weeks, I saw her working very hard.
一个女人能这样用功，这是很少。我现在也不论是男，不论是女，你男人不用功，男人就不要。
A female, a lady, applying effort. That's very rare. Now, whether you are a man or a woman, if a man does not apply effort, the man will fall behind.
女人不用功，女人就有谁不用功，谁就不能到前途。
If a woman does not apply effort, the woman will fall behind. Whoever does not apply effort will not be able to move forward.
谁能用功，谁就牵着他走，牵着他。
Whoever can apply effort can achieve enlightenment first, can obtain such benefit first. That's the end of this file.
Okay, I guess we're done for the evening. Let's see what we can get out of this. Okay. The Great Master says, do not climb on conditions. Do not false think. Do not run after your own desires. Okay, that's not the Chanchi. So are you here? We're not talking about any other times, but right now. Okay, when you're doing the Chanchi here, this is what the instructions are for. People who are doing Chanchi should not, try to climb on conditions. What's climbing on conditions? To climb on conditions is to try to take advantage of an advantageous position of favorable circumstances. Okay? Because worldly thinking is that if it's there, you don't take it, someone else will. That's common wisdom. Yes? It's there. The money is on the floor, on the ground. You don't take it, someone else will. Yes? It's reasonable. Yes? But not during Chanchi. The Chanchi, you see money, you see gold, as if you don't see anything. Okay? You see anything that will bring you profits, bring you benefits, ignore it. Very important. Okay? Because it trains you to reduce your greed. So far, so good. We normally, we indulge in our greed, but during the Chanchi, do not. Do not false think. Okay, that means don't think. When you find yourself thinking, stop it. Think about home, think about anything you think of, stop it, drop it. You see, this is a very special time for you when you're here. You learn to drop these things. You learn to seek benefits, to seize advantages. That is, to climb on conditions. you cease to think. Sit there and keep on thinking and thinking and thinking and planning and scheming. Okay? Cut it out. Okay? Do not run after your own desires. So, how do we say that? Lessen your desires. Okay? Limit your desires. Limit all your thinking, all your concerns about where you are right now. And don't think more than that. Just about here, now. Nothing else. Drop the other desires. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Otherwise, your time at this Chanchi here is not well spent. Any questions about that? This is a very important instruction. Maybe it's said in a Chinese way. That's why I have to reinterpret for you. Okay, the Chinese, when they hear this, they may understand it immediately. But when I see this, I feel that it still lacks details. The concepts are extremely sound, but it lacks details. It lacks specific action items as we in the West are trained to do. Look at action items. What do you do? Don't just talk. What are you supposed to do? Okay, so they say climate conditions is very elegant, it's very eloquent, but when you explain, especially you teachers of Chan, when you explain to people, you should try to make it specific to help people have a better idea. Because when I was practicing Chan, at first I kept on hearing climate conditions, and for years, couldn't understand what it meant. It bothered me because I couldn't understand it. It sounded so important because the master kept on talking about it, and we recite it every night, every day. When we have a ceremony, we will not climate conditions. But no one really explained it to me, and because of that, it bothered me. I kept on thinking about it. What does it mean? What does it mean, climate conditions? Okay. All right. Any questions about this? It's very clear. He has said very clear. Do not climate conditions. Do not think. Do not indulge in your desires. Okay. Leave those behind. Okay. You're taken care of. You have a shelter. You kept warm, reasonably warm. You're fed. What else do you need to do a Chanchi? Forget about home. Forget about, the rest of the world. Concentrate on the Chanchi. All right? Yes, questions? Número dos.
San Jose Daniel say, Happy Amitabha Buddha birthday, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Same to you. All right. Next. During the period of Chan meditation, the daily instructional talk will be from 6:30 to 8:30. That's 2 hours. Okay. This tells me that these people are not skilled enough in Chan. That's why he had to talk to them for 2 hours. Probably couldn't take the pain. Okay, we actually are one of the very few teachers, or even among his disciples, Master Shenhua disciples, we are one of very few, rare few, who stress full lotus. Okay, so So even when you listen to instructional talks, sit in full lotus as well. Yeah? So he spent 2 hours every day talking to them. I thought that at one time he broke it up to once in the morning, once in the evening. Okay, but anyway, eventually he settled after 4 or 5 weeks to 6:30 to 8:30. That's fine. Okay, but to me, that's a little bit too long. Because I feel a little bit too long because you want, when you meditate, you want to know enough only. You don't want to know more than you need to. Okay, so the more the more time you spend on the talks, unless the master is very skilled, it's not beneficial. So I recommend for those of you who are teaching Chan Qis and so forth, restricted to 1 hour. For us who are a lot more skilled than you, 2 hours is okay. Next, Chan meditation is for the long haul. And when he says 长远的, it means the Chan meditation is for the long haul. And I repeat, and I stress, long haul. That's what he means in Chinese. He keeps on saying those things. He kept saying and then repeat the same thing. Okay? And the idea there is that I stress. So if you translate it's for the long haul, they think you're stuttering. It's for the long haul, Okay? So it's less annoying. But I used to hear this and the Vietnamese who asked me to help translation, they cut off the second part. They said, Chan meditation is for a long haul. It would translate that from the English to the Vietnamese, okay, and then they cut off the second long haul. Okay? So again, it's editing. Yeah, but this is this is for emphasis. Okay, I emphasize for long haul. Okay, I stress the long haul. You can't say that I have already said 3 weeks. How come I'm not enlightened yet? Sounds familiar? Anyone have this problem as it's taught? It's been my 5th week now. How come I'm not enlightened yet? I've been sitting here for days now. How come I'm not enlightened yet? Master, will you give me special instruction to help me become enlightened quickly? If not, I'm going home. Speak, Master. Are you going to say something or I'm going to go home? How come I'm not enlightened yet? What is that? It's called a false thought. Don't even think about it. It's called greedy. You want to be enlightened after 3 weeks, after 3 hours, after 3 days, after 4 or 5 days. That's greed. You should be grateful that you have a chance to come and sit there and no one bothers you. And if you die, no one even gives a darn about it. It's perfect conditions. No one cares. You're left alone to your own devices. You die, you die. What do we care? Okay? It sounds so like so simple, but actually it's very profound, these things. You know, you're missing out on this opportunity to be able to just single-mindedly do this. And don't think about anything else. Don't think about enlightenment. Don't think about things. Just do it. People keep on asking me, Master, what do I do? I said, I don't know. How about following the schedule? I know what. I have this idea. Follow the schedule. How's that? And he said, is that all? That's all the special instruction you're going to give me? That's very special. Just follow the schedule for you. Special instruction just for you. Follow the schedule. Would you like your instructions too? People is like, as soon as I talk about enlightenment and improvement, it was, Master, have I improved yet? Where am I? Where am I? How much longer? How come it's so fast? And why is it taking so long for me? It's so fast because you're not even thinking about it. It's so slow for you because you keep on thinking about it, making demands on your own master, and plotting for your own benefits, climbing on conditions. Do you remember? What are you supposed to do? 3 things? Huh? 1 is what? Not climb on conditions. Have you forgotten already? Number 2. What is number 2?
Do not have any false thoughts.
Do not false think. Number 3. He forgot. False thoughts is easy. 2. No, 3. 2, 3. He's too slow.
Master Derek Chen asks, Master, should I set a goal to achieve during the Chanchi, or is that a false thought?
You can set a goal. That's okay. What's number 3? Do not look at the notes. What's number 3? Quickly. I just talked to you. I just spent 5 minutes explaining to you, elaborating on these 3 things for you. You forgot already? Seriously? I preface by saying this is the instruction for a great teacher, and you forgot already. Here, 1 ear goes out the other. Oh God, I have to emphasize it for you. You still don't remember. What's number 3? Sojo. And she thinks she's smart. Oh, good Lord. Yasmin.
No desire.
Thank you. Men are good. Okay, so far so good? Just remember those things. And when the thought arises, which one is this? Is it climbing conditions? Is it thinking? Or is it desires that I'm indulging in? Am I enlightened yet? What is that? Desires. And you want, so you think Chan is like, I give you special knowledge, that will help you become enlightened right away. Yes, that's what you want, right? 4 stage Arhat. Yeah, there you go. You're not enlightened because you don't apply efforts yourself. Okay? Yung Gong. Chinese. Yung Gong translates as to apply efforts. Okay? But actually, what does it mean in Chinese? Please, Chinese people, help me out. I hear this in Chinese all the time. Master YongHua talks about it, and the other, teachers also talk about Yung Gong maybe, But what does it mean? Can we speak in plain terms, please? Huh? Efforts? Apply efforts? Huh? What does it mean in English? to apply efforts. Come on, English-speaking people, help me out. Chinese people, what does it mean? 用功. And you English people, when we chose to translate it as apply efforts, what does it mean to you? Two kinds of people, English-speaking and Chinese-speaking. Help me out. Google it. Look it up in dictionary. I don't care. Call your Chan teachers. Yes, 9.
Work hard.
Work hard. Okay? Apply efforts. Work hard, slightly better than apply efforts, I would say. Huh? Okay, what else? Come on, go on. She can't hear you. She's behind the glass. If she can't hear you, she's not going to translate.
Nói cái hành giả không có tinh tấn đúng mức. Cũng như trong kinh Quan Nghiêm nói, người ta hỏi Ngài Văn Thù tại sao không có được. Thì Ngài nói như đốt thanh củi quá ướt với cái diêm quẹt làm sao mà nó tắt, nó cháy được. Sự tinh tấn của ông chưa có đủ.
So, Master, it means that you haven't applied enough effort. So the analogy is similar in the Flower Adornment Sutra. Someone asked Manjushri Bodhisattva, and then he said that it's similar to when you burn a piece of wood, and then that wood is very wet, and then you just use the small light yim quẹt to burn it.
Okay, anyone else?
Be vigorous in our work.
Vigorous, Anyone else? Anyone else? Alung's dead.
Maybe it means don't rest.
Don't rest. Anyone else? Dos.
Master, the word yong also need to be effective.
Effective. Very good. Excellent. You understand Espanol? Dos. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. And number 5 is very famous. Cinco de Mayo. In California, everyone knows about Cinco de Mayo. Cultural note. And so, yes, dos.
Vicky said, try your best. San Jose Daniel say, apply instructions. C.Y. Wong say, diligent. Derek Chen say, try.
Okay, very good. Oh, very good. Okay, so what have you got from a Chinese again? The English, it says, has some certain level of effectiveness. 用功 has a certain, apply effort has to be effective. Yes, very good. What else? Chinese people, help us out. 用功, what does 用功 mean to you, Chinese people? Why do Chinese keep on talking about that? Why does Master Hsing Hua keep on saying 用功, 用功, 用功 everywhere? What does it mean to Chinese people? Why would he talk like that? I have no clues. Why would he talk to his own Chinese people like that? Yes, too.
Can he say, don't give up?
Don't give up. Yes.
I can compare that to the you said before, like don't have any false thoughts, that we already have the place, we already have the master, we have everything, but it's not enough, so we have to do our part too.
Do our part too. All very good. Yeah, it's all very good. Master Xianjie, what is your latest insight into this concept?
I'm not familiar with where in the Chinese is it Yong Gong, like Gong Fu? Use your Gong Fu? Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, what about English? What about English? Huh? You're white. I mean, you're Caucasian. Excuse me.
We said a lot of them. Be vigorous or work hard.
Vigorous, work hard. I remember because I called on him because I remember like several years ago, maybe 10 years ago, at Blue Mountain Temple, I was teaching Chan. Okay, I was explaining some Chan concepts. And I said, hey, Xianjie, what do you think of this? You white, you Caucasian, you should know what it means. He said, no, I don't get it. So I said, you know what? There's a Caucasian Caucasian monk over there. You should give him a call and ask him what it means. And Xianjie is so naive, he immediately texted him. And the guy, that monk answered, tell your master not to use me as your reference, as a resource. You remember that? Yeah, I chuckled. Why? Because I knew he would know the answer. I was trying to teach him. But it's funny, he came back with a retort to your email, or your text email says, tell him to stop using me as a resource. And my answer is, you're not a resource. You're a student of Chan, who doesn't understand Chan yet. That's why I called on you. I called on you because I know you wouldn't have the answer. I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot. Yes, too.
Vicky Sprout said, use your intestinal fortitude.
Intestinal fortitude. That's very close to hell.
Jesus said, do whatever is difficult to you.
Jesus, the Son of God? Is that a quote or a question? See, the Chinese don't get it. Only the Caucasians get it. Okay. Anyone else? So, come on, Chinese people. 用功, what does it mean? Taiwanese people surprised me. What does 用功 mean? Let me translate it for you. 用功 here, what he means, I don't care what the Chinese think, is what I think he thinks. 用功 here means work harder. That's all. That's the spirit of Chan, is that when I give you an assignment, you work hard, and the next day you work harder, next day you work harder, and following day you work harder. That's Yung Gong in Chinese, in a Chan Ho. I guarantee you, Master Xianjie, none of them gets it. They cannot be a resource, because this is exactly Wei Yang training. That's our tradition. Is to work hard, and work harder, then you work harder, and you work harder. That's your instructions. Any questions? Chung Yin, are you okay? Are you working harder? Starting from tomorrow, you're telling me. So far, it's been a good ride. Tomorrow, I start working harder, he says. Yes, too. See? Caught him right away. Work harder. Work harder is for him. Work harder. Are you kidding me? 2.
Emily said, use your Kung Fu. CY said, refer to 6 parameter is vigor. Daniel Wisniewski said, willpower. Brady said, work from the heart and use no mind. Derek said, add oil.
Add oil?
Oil.
Work harder. Questions, comments? Okay? None of them understands this Yung Gong. Yung Gong here, they don't understand. You understand now why they explain it to you. This is exactly what he means. You can't apply effort well, you see? How do you know you're applying efforts well? Doesn't matter. You work harder. I don't care if you apply efforts well or not. I want you to work harder. You don't decide whether it's well or not. You just work harder. You don't need to understand. Work harder. That's it. No matter how long you sit, you still won't become enlightened. You see? This is where I disagree with him. You can't apply efforts well that causes problems to people. Okay? Don't worry about this. Work harder. That's it. Work harder still. Instead of saying this, I would say, just work harder still. Okay? Or else you won't become enlightened. We stop at what time again? 9 o'clock? Didn't I say that 1 hour is enough? I'm not going to contradict myself tonight. Tonight we stop early. Please. Okay. Once you sit there, you lower your head. Okay, he's obsessed about lowering your head. I have no problem with lowering your head. You lower your head, I don't care. Work harder next day, okay? It's okay. Next day, you work harder and you can lower the head all you want. Okay? How can you become enlightened? Okay, you absolutely don't have the appearance of a Vajra. Vajra because you bend over your head, so because your head is flexible. Vajra is hard. It doesn't bend over. Vajra doesn't bend. You see, Vajra is very hard. It's like this. So that's why you don't have the appearance. You see, you understand his Chinese thinking, his Chinese mind. You don't have appearance of Vajra because you bend over like this. Okay? And then you should ask yourself, what pain? Drop the is. What suffering? You see, this is American. The Chinese, what is pain? Huh? 什么叫苦呢? What pain? What suffering? Tired? I must overcome everything. I don't overcome, I can't overcome yet. I work harder. I still can't. Tomorrow, I work even harder. Okay, let's take a survey. You like Chinese instruction or my instructions? And be fair now. I know all your names and faces. Okay, what pain? He says, you sit there and you're in pain. I say, what pain? He says, this is too much suffering. Why am I doing this? What suffering? I'm so tired. I haven't slept too well the last 5 weeks. 2 hours a night. I'm so tired. Tired? What tired? There's no nurse. What tired? Who's tired? Okay? I will overcome. I will overcome everything. Okay, it's no exact translation, but that's what he means. Okay, I'm taking a little liberty here, and please understand this is my style, but it's the same concept. Okay, are we done here, or are there still things? Cultivation these days, that's how it goes. Xiu, cultivated well, so are working very hard. Okay. And when he says, I saw her working very hard, actually he means that I saw her working hard, and then the next day she works harder. But he didn't express it that way, because to cultivate well, you have to work harder the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Is it clear? A female, a woman, applying effort, that's very rare. So sexist. Chinese, they have no respect for women. What can I say? Now, whether you're a man or woman, man does not apply efforts, the man will fall behind. Okay? If the woman does not apply effort, she will fall behind. Okay? So don't repeat. If a woman does not effort, she will fall behind. Whoever does not effort will not 到前边去 will not make progress. Okay, I think this is the end of that tape, right? That file. One more. Whoever can apply for can achieve enlightenment first, can have such benefit first. I don't like it. It's too Chinese. Who cares about first? What's this idea about first? It's so Chinese. Chinese, I want to be first. I want to be number one. We Americans, I don't care. Just make me rich. Yes. Along's daddy.
How can you work harder when you're sitting 24 hours a day already? 2 hours sitting now. Today is her 6th day. How can she work harder?
I never tried it, so I don't know how to answer you.
How long should she keep on sitting without losing her legs?
I told you I don't know how to answer that. You answer him. How do you work harder? You know. He doesn't know, but you know.
I don't know, Master. There are 24 hours.
She's a traitor. I told you, once a traitor, always a traitor. Figure it out. How do you work harder? The instructions, work harder. You figure out how to work harder. I don't have to tell you.
I guess cut off the 3 hours of
It's just like the Chinese, they tell her, Yung Gong, Yung Gong, Yung Gong. And I explained to her, work harder. And she says, can you tell me more? I said, insatiable. Wait till next year. You should figure it out eventually. Okay? How do you work harder? That's all. And you don't get it? Keep at it. Until someday you say, that's all he means. Questions, comments? Yes. Throw.
Master, this is kind of off subject, and I've been thinking about this, and I couldn't figure it out. So the question is about thoughts. Throughout the lecture, you mentioned that thoughts can create the whole universe. A thought can even stop you from cultivating, make you quit. And a thought could create so many things. But I never understood what thoughts mean in Buddhism. Can you kind of explain that, what it means in Buddhist term?
Thought he says, I need to go to the restroom. That's a thought. I must hurry. Not a thought. Still not clear?
It sounds very simple, but it is so powerful at the same time. But in a simple term, you just have a thought in your mind, and in a way, people think that your brain is generating this thought. But I remember you talk about like ghosts and other spirit can form thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Right. So
very good.
Where is it coming from? I mean,
it's a good question. Okay, it's a very good question, which I don't know the answer to. Let me check my resource. this is the confusing part about the Chinese teaching. They said, 妄想, and they have false thoughts and thought all those things, and later they contradict themselves and use this and use that, and so I live in confusion, in contradiction like that for years. So why should I fix it for you now? Okay, just be aware that sometimes it's undesirable, sometimes it's okay. That's as clear as it can be for you. Okay, but eventually, then you understand what it means. Thought here, if you insist on an answer, because you are not confident you'll ever figure it out. Is that the case? Then I answer you. You're confident you can figure it out, I'm not going to answer you. Choose A or B. Hey, think about it. This guy, I chose the easy way.
Well, at this level, I won't understand it, but from your teaching, eventually you reach to a level where you sort of have the wisdom to understand it.
Yes.
So maybe
this is where we're going. What are we doing? All this eventually you get to the point where you understand what it means.
Yes.
Precisely. So until that happens, there'll be some confusion, some unclear aspects of it. Okay? Some aspects are okay, most of it is unclear. Not the nature of the journey. And eventually when you get there, then today I'm in a good mood. I will give you some free tips. Well, eventually when you get there, thought here refers to the thinking mind. The mind you use to think. Okay? That you use every day at work, at home. That thinking mind is what produces thoughts. All right? So how do you stop those thoughts? It's a very good question. I thought about that. No, I didn't think about it. I thought about it. But eventually, in this journey here, eventually you see why we tell you to do all these things. Okay? Because that's what it takes to bring you to the point where the Thai monks can stop thinking after 20 years in the forest. So there are different ways to do it. Okay, so so how do you get there? Here's the process. You need to believe the instructions. I should stop thinking. If I find myself thinking, okay, I should stop it. That's the instructions. That's all. Because I just told you, the thinking mind is undesirable. Therefore, what are you doing? Keep on thinking while here. You at the Chanchi, while you're meditating. Stop thinking. You go back home, you go back to work. Think, but not here. That's the instructions. Don't think about chi. Don't think about anything. Because you think about those cheese and think about how to move the cheese. That's anti-chan. If you're not doing chan, think cheese, no problem. But when you do chan, don't think chi. Do you get it? When you do ceremony, you don't think chi. You don't think 1 foot. You don't think planting your head on the ground. Sit upside and stand upside down. That's thinking. Do you understand? You see, you violate all the instructions. You wonder, why? Why not? I mean, it helps me. No, it doesn't help you. It seems to help you last longer and have more energy to do it longer. But what does it do? It entraps you into thinking. So it's detrimental. It goes contrary to the Chan practice. This is why they're stuck. Lifetime after lifetime. Because no one told them otherwise. And they say, hey, my chi is better than yours. I can last longer than you. Yeah, it can last longer than me. But I become enlightened a lot of asamkhya kalpas faster than you. The objective is not to last longer. The objective is not to increase your endurance. The objective is to become enlightened. Yes, too.
Master Bing Teng Qing Qing asks, Master, how do we stop thinking during Chan Qi?
I told you to eat lunch, and you ask me how? Where is this person? Come closer. I'm losing my temper. Yes, 4.
I drop everything, Master.
Hallelujah. You see the pitfalls? See how small knowledge can be so detrimental to your welfare? You learn all these things that you think are superior, but actually they're entrapments. It's nothing superior. It's wrong knowledge, wrong pursuits. How come you're not enlightened yet? Mm-hmm. I look at you and say, why aren't you enlightened yet? You! Why not? Explain yourself. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to know? How to eat lunch? It's amazing. Some people, I tell them go eat, and say, how do I eat? Oh, we're done here. I feel so stressed out. I don't know about you. I feel so stressed out. It's just like I sit here and talk about this profound thing. I really enjoy these instructions. And you guys are, where do you get all that? I said, it's obvious, isn't it? Joanne! Okay. Are you ready? I bought you time. Bình đẳng chinh nhìn. Okay, 2.
Daniel Wisniewski said, if you achieve Buddhahood or have a pure heart, it would be okay to have a thinking mind then, and is calculating or analyzing or observing a thinking mind.
When you get there, you know. I'm not going to answer for you.
Derek Chen said, too many attachment, ego.
Is there a point? Okay. Continuez.
Ah, 所以旁人呢，没有他是帮得了你自己，一定要你自己。去，你自己不用功，永远都是糊涂。你自己。
So, there is no way for others to help you. You must work harder yourself. If you yourself do not work harder, you will forever be a confused person.
能用功，很快就会开悟，所以不能开悟。
If you yourself can work harder, then you will be enlightened very soon and be a wise person. This year, we have 14 weeks of Chan Qi. The first, second, third, and fourth week are almost all gone.
第5、第6、第7地方，你们可以尽量练习，能做得好，走的也好。
There are still the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th week. You can try your best to practice sitting properly and walking properly.
走路啊，不要东张西望，不要净管闲事啊，门响了你也忘了。
When you walk, do not look around, and don't always mind others' business. Oh, when the doorbell rings, you also take a look.
那窗户响了你也看看，来一个人，你也要知道。
When the window makes noise, you also take a look. Somebody visits, you also want to know.
走一个人，你也要跟着这个人呢跑一跑，注意眼睛。
Somebody takes off, your eyes follow that person.
成这样子呢，在修行的过程，你这样绝对不会有成就。这怎么样的呢？
Therefore, in the process of cultivation, if you are like that, then you for sure cannot succeed. What should you do?
要修的行不知道行，做不知道做。
You need to cultivate to the point that when you walk, you don't know that you're walking. When you sit, you don't know that you're sitting.
你在这做打坐呢，不知道你是打坐呢。你不知道打坐，所以你头就不会低下。
When you sit here meditating, you don't know that you're meditating. Because you don't know you're meditating, so you will not lower your head.
你因为有个你，所以你头就低下去。要没有你呢，你头不会低下。
Because you have a self, that's why you lowered your head. If you don't have a self, then you won't lower your head.
走路跑香的时候，上不知有天，下不知道有地，中不知道有地。
During walking meditation, you are not aware of the heaven above, or the earth underneath, or the people in the middle.
所以你怎么可以管闲事？我们练习的行行坐坐，坐坐行行，这一点呢，麻烦也没有。
So, how could you mind others' business? You should practice walking and sitting, sitting and walking, till you get it.
练习好。预备第9个期开始。后来呀，同用大家来再挑战一下。
Practice well, because I plan to compete with you when the 9th chi starts.
All right. Stop. Let's go back and revisit what he taught us. And again, I appreciate your spending so much time making this available. I know it's a lot of hard work for you. You know, the translation here, we go through this like in 1 hour, an hour and 40 minutes. It takes them hours or maybe days to get this right. So it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work that's happened behind the scenes. So we should be appreciative of that and be grateful. Okay, going back to this teaching here. Okay. The person who applies effort, the person who can attain enlightenment first, okay, and attain a benefit first. Best wishes to you. I can't care less. Okay? Happy for you, you can get it. So if there is no way for others to help you, you must work harder yourself. Yourself do not work harder, will forever be a confused person. Okay? So apply efforts here, and I translate it as work harder for you. Actually, the translation should be 用功, okay? But leave it to the teacher to explain 用功 in Chinese, apply efforts, which means, to me, my interpretation is to work harder. But the translation should be apply efforts, because we need to be true to Master Xuanhua's teaching. Because maybe the next teacher might disagree with me and say, actually, in my thinking, 用功 means something else. And you know, that's going to be true. It's going to happen. 用功 will be different for different set of people. It's not going to work harder for those people. But it's work harder for all of you right now, tonight. Including 平等, 清净. Okay? You have to apply efforts. Okay, I'm sorry if I make it confusing for you. Okay, but it's okay. We go back and forth until we get it right. If yourself can apply efforts, then you'll be an enlightened person very soon. To be a wise person, wonderful. Okay, don't worry about very soon. Okay, this very soon here is, I don't know why he chose to talk like that, maybe to those people present, okay, because the Americans are impatient, are self-indulgent, they can't endure too much suffering, so yes, very soon, be over very, very soon, and maybe that's what you tell the American kids, it will be over soon, okay? You know, they intend to pull out your tooth in no time right now, okay? So mommy will come very soon, in no time at all, okay? Fine, but for you, my instruction is no soon. Just do it. Don't think about soon. Don't think about late. Don't think about when. Just do it. Why? Master Xianjie, you're a bit hungry, so tell me, it must help your thinking a little bit better. Why? Why? I don't want you to think about very soon. Or in no time at all.
It doesn't really matter. It's just an attachment.
It doesn't matter. It's an attachment. Very good. Very American. Anyone else? Colombian perspective.
Because that is being greedy.
That's being greedy. Anyone else? Ask Daddy. That's when I do that in the future, you go and say, Daddy, Daddy. Anyone else? Very good. You're all right. You know, very soon it has a time element. He says, if you think about soon, then you're thinking about time. That's contrary to my instructions. Don't think. Okay? You say this to children. Very soon, it'll be over very, very soon. Mommy will come very, very soon. Okay? But not for adults. Okay? I consider you to be adults, not children. Am I wrong? This is a dirty word that begins with an H. This is Hinayana instruction. I don't like it. And I hope someday you understand. This is too Hinayana for me. Okay? I strike this. I object to this. Don't talk like this. Don't ever tell people this. Don't ever make this teaching point. That's Hinayana. That's all you need to know. If I ask you to teach meditation, don't say very soon. That's Hinayana. Okay? Because if people believe very soon, these people will become Hinayana. There's no very soon. It's very subtle, but it's very dangerous. You talk like this, you teach people like this, and you believe in this, you become Hinayana. Next. This year we have 14 weeks of Chanchi. Oh my God, 14. We have, what is it, this year 10? And look at all of you. You want to quit already. First, second, third, fourth week are almost gone. Okay, 14 weeks. Wow, that's impressive. That's hard. Why would you do this with these people? And apparently, there's some who who fasted for, I heard, 72 days? Old monk? Right? 72 days. Someone fasted 72 days. Somebody sat for 90 days. But in general, the rest of them is just, oh yeah? So you see, in every chi, you have drastically different levels. 6. There is still the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th week. Okay? You should try your best to practice sitting properly, walking properly. Okay, children. If you walk, don't look around. Don't mind. Don't constantly mind others' business. Or the bell rings, you want to take a look. Okay. So he says, and this is a very interesting point to me, because when I joined that association, okay, the one thing I learned, we were taught, is don't look around, don't look left, don't look right, don't glance left, don't glance right. Okay, what do? You learn to lower your gaze to in front of you. Okay, so you look down to about just in front of you, so that you know where you're walking and you can avoid obstacles. Okay, you don't trip yourself. But you look down only and you ignore the rest. Outside of that area where you're walking, where you're going, or you're sitting, you ignore everything else. That helps. That works very well. So you have this zone. Okay? The zone there. Within that zone, you look at that. Anything outside, you ignore. So far, so good? It works very well. That's the Buddha's instructions. That's a Chan instruction, by the way. Okay? Window makes a noise, you want to take a look. Someone comes in, you also want. Look at who? Someone takes off, your eyes follow that person. You see? You violate the zone. You go outside of the zone. Okay, that's all these behavior. You all go outside the zone. You stay in the zone. Is that clear? You like that, and you sure cannot succeed. What is success? I don't know. If he says cultivation, success is enlightenment, I would say, I don't care about enlightenment. Okay? But anyway, but my style is slightly different from him. He's Chinese. Okay, what should you do? Okay, this is the question. Okay, now, it brought me back to when I was practicing Chan without anyone telling me or correcting me. Okay, like for example, tonight I corrected you. Huh? You're doing all these things wrong. Okay, but couldn't tell you. Okay, until the right time. Then when you told, you say, of course. But before that, you fight. You say, I have more energy than you. My chi is better than you. I can see your chi is so bad. Mine is flourishing. And you telling me that I should ignore my chi? You got to be crazy. You're a loser. Yes. So, no one corrected me. It's very sad. I was supposed to receive training. No one corrected me. I would have appreciated someone saying, you're too arrogant. I'm not going to teach you unless you get rid of your arrogance. That's teaching. Okay? But nothing. And I find it disgusting. Disappointing. No guts. No one dare tell me you're wrong, just shut up or get out of here. No one have that kind of guts. So the only thing I knew is to observe the zone, okay? Because that's the only thing that seems to make sense. Observe the zone, and the other problems I couldn't solve. Tough luck. Live another day, fight for another day. And then one of the elder monks, he got a step further. What did he do? Instead of doing the zone, you know what he did? Don't look at all. It's even better than the zone. Think about it. This is so clever. He sits in a meeting. As soon as he sits down, someone calls him. So we are so impressed. Why? Because his rationale is that, look at Master Xu Yun. Blow up a picture of Master Xu Yun for me. Pick any photo of him. Put it on the screen. I let you pick any photo of Master Xu Yun. Don't be picky now. Just grab the first one you can find. Xu Yun photos. Put it on the screen. Look at all of them. He's even skinnier than the Koreans. We Americans are fat, but Koreans are skinny, and he's even skinnier than the Koreans. Look at him, huh? Always eyes closed. Huh? Eyes closed. So that's what he did. This guy, this monk here, is One eye open. He's probably blinking. That's when they took the photo. Look at that. One photo with eyes open. The rest, all closed. And they're older photos. You see, notice, all these photos are, he's very old. Any more photos? Okay. See, I rest my case. One photo with eyes open, all photos, eyes closed. So that monk was, hey, that's what Master Xu does. So he closed his eyes. A meeting, if everyone talk, he closed his eyes. They talk to him, he closed his eyes. He opened it and he closed his eyes. Yes, too.
Master, I saw Venerable YongHua took picture with another Thai forest tradition monk where Master YongHua looked down, and then it looked like the Buddha statue looking down that way also. Is there any meaning behind that as well?
Meaning behind what?
The practice when he just looked this way down.
The zone. That's his own. That's his own practice. You practice only, you look a little bit ahead of you, that's it. You ignore everything else. Okay? That's zoning. I don't recommend you do that because even after you become enlightened like Master Xu, don't even do that. This is America, this is not China. It's inappropriate for this continent to close your eyes. Okay? Why? Because your eyes in our times are how we connect with others. If you want to help others and you close your eyes, how are you going to connect with them? It's anti the 4 methods, dharmas of attraction. What are the 4 dharmas of attraction? Anyone?
Tôi như pháp là bố thí, lợi hành, đồng sự và ái ngữ.
Master, the 4 Dharma of attraction are practice giving, and lợi hành, do things with benefit, and do things together, and speak kind words.
Okay. In Mahayana, we have something called the 4 dharmas of attraction. Meaning that if you want, put it plainly, to connect with people, attract people, she here is to gather them in. Su she fa. Chinese words is, attraction is a bad translation, okay? Su is 4, she is to gather in, fa is dharma. The 4 dharmas of gathering in. So they translate it as attraction. That's a bad translation. She is to bring them in. Okay? Bring in where? Why do you need to bring them in? We're not talking about attraction. We're not talking about opposite sex or same-sex attraction. We're talking about bring them in. And this is how damaging it is when you translate it wrong, because then the English-speaking people have totally miss the point of these four dharmas of gathering in. How do you gather in your son? How do you gather in your mother? Okay? To gather in, you need to gather living beings in. You cannot leave them outside to their own devices. You need to gather them in. You leave them alone, they continue to do what they've been doing. Lifetime after lifetime, they've been doing the same thing over and over again. So you cannot leave them alone. In order to help them, you need to bring them in, gather them in. Is it clear? So how do you bring them in? By, number one, giving. This is very important. Please memorize this. If you want to be a Mahayana Buddhist, you have to memorize this. This is our motto. You practice giving, meaning what? You give them things, you give them. You have to give them. Don't ask. You understand monks and nuns? You don't ask for anything. You don't ask for food because Master likes to eat that kind of food. You don't ask for money because Master needs to pay for mortgage. You don't ask for anything. You don't ask for clothes because you're cold. If we have no money, we don't ask. Well, don't go that far. You ask, I don't ask. How's that? You understand? You give instead of asking, you give. Would you like some nice food? Would you like some pizza? Huh? Would you like to bring some food home? How about some kimchi for your wife? It's very good. Specially made. Flew someone in from Korea to make some kimchi today. Okay? You give. Is it clear? Don't take. You want to help people, don't take. Please remember that. Don't take because I'm a temple, because I'm a monk, I can take from you. Heck no, you're a monk. You're really a Mahayana monk, you don't take. You don't take a salary. You don't go to do chanchi and then take money for doing a chanchi. It has good reasons for that, but it goes against the Mahayana concept of four dharmas of gathering in. Yes, there's some advantages. You get some money for attending a chanchi or whatever. At least you have money so that you can continue to subsist as a monk and nun when you're not doing a chi. I understand that, okay? But then that betrays the need to survive. You believe that you must survive. And in Mahayana, we don't give a damn. We die tomorrow, we die tomorrow. Gloriously. Oh no, I offended someone?
Master Catholic Daniel asks, I understand that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas don't get offended when an offense is committed to whom you are offending.
Offending me. I'm not Buddha and Bodhisattva. That's why you want to make sure you don't offend me, because when I get offended, I get very nasty. That's all you have to remember. Okay. You got that? So the first thing you do, you give, you don't take. Am I making myself clear? I don't open temples for you who follow in my wake to take things from others, because I don't take things from others, except for one thing only. The red car. What else? I've been saying this, and no one has even thought of giving me one. This is upsetting. They only talk about how much more do we need to get masters that red car. But nothing. All you have to do is go to the bank and sign a loan. I cannot be clearer than this. So upsetting. You understand? You don't take because you're supposed to give. Okay, so the first thing is you give. Second thing, you give some more. How? Someone asked me, Ping Jing Jing says, how do I give more, Master? Ask her. Is that correct? Did you want to ask him? Did you want to ask him? Ask Pindang Jing Jing. Did you want to ask him, how do I give more? By giving kind words. That's next. You don't take when you give kind words. That's number 2. You don't take praises. You don't demand not to be criticized. You don't demand that you're right. You don't demand at all. You give kind words. Even though they're wrong, you say, oh, very nice. Very nice. It hurts me so much, but it's very nice. If you don't have anything nice to say, you walk away. I'll be right back. You understand? You know what I mean? You don't say, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm looking for something to throw at someone. Okay, you got that? Kind words. You don't yell at them. You don't criticize them. You say, you're so wrong, you're so stupid. You keep on wasting things in the temple, you go to hells. Master never said that. You said that. Master says, waste, waste, please waste. You are so wonderful, please waste some more. Number 3 is, what is number 3? Ping Deng Jing Jing. You guessed it. Give. Give more. How? This is becoming such an advanced course in Mahayana. We need to turn this into a course. We charge money for this, you know that. We should. This is pure Mahayana. let me tell you, the Chinese cannot explain it better than this. This is pure American Mahayana. We give more. How? By benefiting them. Don't just say, I gave. I gave you money. I gave you kind words. Isn't that enough? No! You still have to give more. By giving them more benefits. Don't say, Master told me to be nice to you. Isn't that enough? Master told me to go and give you more food to eat. Isn't that enough? No. This number 3 is, you go wash the dirty laundry for them. You ask, do you have any dirty laundry I can do for you? Please, please. And he said, can I trust you? You get on your knees. Yes, you can trust me. Do you understand? You like? This is so American. You see? You do beneficial practices. You benefit them. Don't benefit yourself. And finally, it's 9 o'clock. Aren't you glad? You thought I'm going to say something profound? Time is up. What else do you want? I'm so disappointed. After all this beautiful and inspirational, I might say, interpretation of Chinese Dharma, Indian Dharma, Chinese Dharma, whatever it is. Finally, number 4 is same work. 懂事, same endeavor. Not same work, same endeavor. It's beautiful. It's not work. It's 事, endeavor. I want you to fix all this because it's a very important part of Mahayana practice. And it's poorly translated. I'm very unhappy about it. They destroy this 4 su, shi, fa with that translation. That's why they're all confused. Everyone is confused. Same endeavor. Meaning, time is up. I don't mean to drag it out anymore. I am running out of time. No questions. Same endeavor, meaning that you find. Let me explain to you what same endeavor. May I? I'm running out of time. Don't answer me. Okay. Even no questions, no answer. Okay. This is rhetorical. May I? Thank you. Okay. Same endeavor, meaning that you find out what she's striving for, trying to do, and you sneak in and do the same. Try the same with her. That's same endeavor. That's she wants to get enlightened, you sneak around and say, hey, let's get enlightened together. She wants to get married. No, forget that. She wants to get rich. Let's do it together. She wants to make kimchi. Let's do it together. Don't say, you do it and tell me when you're done. Is that clear? And that's what makes life fun. You You go in just because, even if you can't help, you said, can I watch? Can I just do the dishes for you? Clean up after you? See? That's 同事. Same endeavor. She won't let you touch the kimchi and the cabbage and everything, but you can do things that she allows you to touch. You know what I mean? That's 同事. You don't ask to do the way you want. You understand the subtlety there? Because someone tells me, people often tell me, I try to help, but she will not let me. She say, I'm no good. You put me outside the kitchen. Then stand outside the kitchen and say, hello, hey, I'm here. When you change your mind, I'm still here. Same thing. I told people to go home and spend time with the husband. I said, honey, today is your day. What does the woman say? She says, but he ignores me. I said, it's not 同事, it's that he can ignore you, you idiot. 同事 is that, if he sits there, he does his game, he does his work, you sit next and you don't say anything. That's 同事. Same endeavor. You don't get in his way. That's same endeavor. Isn't it beautiful? Somehow people think 同事 is that I must do kimchi, I must do the same thing he's doing. Not at all. Is that clear? The Chinese, they understand 同事, I got to cook, I got to drive, I've got to, do it. No, you don't get in the way. But you're there. And you do as much you can, you don't get in the way. You like? That lady back there likes my 同事 a lot better than the Chinese explanation. Because this is America. We need to explain it to Americans. It's so clear to the Chinese, clear to the Asians. They heard this. The Koreans, they heard this so often. They think they understand. But when we explain to you Americans, Americans here, not white people, I'm not racist. That's what it means. It got lost in the Dharma transmission. The Su Shefa is so beautiful, so profound. It is pure Mahayana genius. Now I sound like a salesman. You like? Okay, thank you everyone. Good night.